What up, though, y'all? It's Chris, broadcasting from the D. And man, this Lily Tino situation is turning into a faffle one real quick. I honestly was just hopeful for Disney banning this weirdo. I really didn't think that there'd be anything legal coming. I just was like, Disney should ban this guy. Like, really, stop being quiet about it and just ban the guy. And Disney has continued to be quiet about this. Don't think for a second that Disney is unaware of this situation. They absolutely know what is going on. They're just choosing to stay silent about it because they would rather continue to pander to these weirdos that are running around their parks than to side with the men and women who would bring their families there. Disney right now, the brand is in the toilet across the board. Where before Disney movies would come out and you just take the kids to go see them just because it was a Disney movie, those days are long gone and it's all Disney's fault. This is a self-imposed wound because they went above and beyond to pander to a group that not only is not enough of them for them to thrive off of, but the ones who are aware in that group still don't support them financially. They know they're getting their asses kicked. They know why they're getting their asses kicked, and they don't support Disney even still. So I've got here a article. I'm gonna read some of it for you about what's going on here. The Florida Attorney General's office has launched an investigation into trans TikTok creator Lily Tino's photo from inside a women's restroom at Walt Disney World, which could lead to criminal charges under the state's privacy laws, per Drama Alert's X post. I went looking into this myself, and I did learn that in Florida, it is illegal for you to take pictures inside of the women's restroom. There are spaces that are protected under privacy laws. The women's restroom is one of them. Now, just to let you know real quick, I seen what this guy had to say in response to possibly being criminally charged for this. And he was very flip about it, saying how women always take bathroom selfies because they're cute. Okay, women. Women take bathroom selfies because they're cute. And if there's a woman in the background, usually women try not to get anybody else in their bathroom selfie. It's just them, even if it's in a public restroom. But if there is a woman in the background, no one's really gonna think too much of it, including the woman who got the woman who accidentally photobombed because they're in the restroom. But when you're a dude in the restroom and you're going above and beyond to be a nuisance, when you're going above and beyond just to make the women in the bathroom feel unsafe, you create these problems. The thing is that this is a dude that is just not going to stop. He is going to keep pressing the envelope for as long as he's allowed to. And I'm surprised that there hasn't been a dad or a husband or even a father who seen this weirdo go into the bathroom where his family was, and when the dude came out, he didn't just lose his shit. I'm really surprised. Like, it's like he's going above and beyond to get hands put on him, like daring somebody to do anything to him. He's getting more and more and more ridiculous in his efforts. He keeps turning up the ridiculousness because whatever he does, it doesn't get enough pushback. So he keeps upping the ante to go further, try harder. So Tino, born Nicholas Contino, identifies as transgender and often calls herself a lesbian. Now, calls himself a lesbian. All right, it is important. And the reason why I call this a dude and him and all that, it's not to be funny. it is important to stay rooted in reality. I mean, really, just because these people are confused and they like to live in confusion, I'm not going to be joining them there. So I'm not going to be calling a dude ma'am, and I'm just not going to do the whole pronoun goofy stuff even here reading this report. So now that I see that they're going to be referring to this dude as, other pronouns, I'm going to fix that as I continue to read along. But it says she's known on TikTok. No, yeah, let's start the corrections now. He's known on TikTok for his controversial videos, but a series of June 2025 uploads may have crossed a legal line. I really can't believe that someone would write an article and would really capitulate to this nonsense. Tino snapped and shared selfies taken inside a women's restroom at Disney World as part of a TikTok series reviewing public restrooms. Reflections of women and young girls were visible in the background, none of whom had given consent to be filmed or photographed. Faces were not blurred, and the photos weren't edited to crop out anyone. See? Just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. This guy wants a violent encounter so bad, and no one's given him one yet. That's why he keeps playing the silly little games. You only see this, and I really have to hammer this home. You only see this with these weirdo guys that so desperately want to go into the women's restroom. The trans men, aka women, want nothing to do with the men's restroom. They do not go in there. They are not trying to take a vagina into the men's locker room or the men's restroom. This is just some sort of weird fetish. I mean, really, what else could it be? If it's not a weird fetish, tell me what it is, because you don't see it going the other way. You only see it going one way, ever. Now at least 2 women have said they're preparing to take legal action. One of them, a mother whose child appeared in the background of the photos, is reportedly working with an attorney. Yeah, as she should. Both are considering civil lawsuits for invasion of their privacy and emotional distress, as they should. How much prison time could Lily Tino face? If convicted, Tino could face up to 5 years in prison and a $5,000 fine under Florida's strict privacy statutes, which prohibit unauthorized photography in settings where people expect a reasonable degree of privacy, such as restrooms. There you have it. And the thing is that I think all states have privacy laws like this. It's just that these more ridiculously liberal states, they're not going to really enforce it because they want to bend over backwards for these weirdos for whatever damn reason. This man's bathroom photos are trophies, said J.K. Rowling. That was a post she made on X. He wants women and girls in the background because it proves he's violating women's boundaries without actual females there as props. All he has is a selfie of a scary looking creep in mouse ears, which isn't remotely what he's after. Yeah, so he was wearing in the picture these Mickey ears that were colored in the pattern of the trans flag. So, again, he's just going above and beyond to be an obnoxious creep. This isn't about equality or trans rights or whatever. This is just a weirdo creep that is just doing the most. Let's see. It's got a few tweets here. I'll skip past those though. 2change.org petitions began circulating in the days following the Disney bathroom photos. One calls for Tino to be banned from Walt Disney World, which I doubt will happen, while the others demand for TikTok to remove him or remove his account permanently. I honestly am surprised TikTok hasn't taken any action. Far as I could tell, TikTok is not really considering banning this guy's account, because I mean it does perform well. It gets a lot of views, but it's mostly from shock value. Uh, you're doing too much when even people of the rainbow community are condemning you, saying that what you're doing isn't right and what you're doing is making it hostile for the rest of us. The rest of us that aren't trying to do this, you're making a hostile environment, world, community for the rest of us. Says one petition launched by someone identifying as a concerned parent says concerns have been raised about his behavior. Yeah, they're still saying her and she and all that. Especially considering he has been accused of acting inappropriately in front of minors and being a possible threat. By allowing Lily Tino to continue utilizing TikTok, we risk normalizing potentially harmful behaviors and putting our children at risk. You know, I always find it strange how no one seems to really care about that. When people like myself bring up protecting children from certain things, when a person like the one here with the change.org brings up children, they don't really care. They don't care about protecting children. They don't care about protecting women. I mean, remember, these these same people are the ones who always advocate for girls playing against boys. Like, these be the ones that be like, oh yeah, it's totally fine that the girls soccer or girls softball team rather had a boy pitcher and just dominated all of the girls teams, or that it's totally okay for a dude changing in the locker room before a swim meet, just schlong, swinging and everything. Like I'm gonna change it here with the rest of the girls. It's like someone has to hold firm. If you don't hold firm, you lose. We never would have got here if boundaries that were set and long standing would have been upheld. You can never ever negotiate with these people. You give them an inch, they take a mile. What started as affirm my pronouns has now become let me into the women's bathroom. Let me into the women's locker room. You are what? Taking away my rights, which it's not a right for you to go into the girls' locker room. It's not a right for you to play against girls in sports or whatever. But this is the stuff that they say. It went from all we want is for you to acknowledge us, affirm our pronouns, to them trying to force their way into the women's restroom, to now taking bathroom selfies at Disney World in the women's restroom with women and children, women and little girls in the background. You gotta hold firm, man. This is what I mean. So hopefully things won't get worse. I think people see that buckling even a little bit was the wrong thing to do, because you gave them an inch and they took a continent. I'm gonna leave it there, man. Hit me with a like if you like what I do. Hit me with a sub if you like what I do. And hit me in them comments. I'm gonna holler at y'all soon. Peace.